Disappointing news. Well, I think it's disappointing. I guess most people don't actually care. It seems to be that most people do not care one bit. But I care. I think this is disappointing. Nintendo is removing the ability to post screenshots and video to Twitter from the Switch. This whole time we've been able to post just whatever we wanted, just straight to Twitter from the Switch, but that will not be possible anymore as of June 10th. So we got about a month left. And then less disappointing, but still slightly disappointing, we'll also lose the ability to find friends using this Twitter integration. To send friend requests to social media users via the friend suggestions feature. It's all going away. As far as I can see, Nintendo has not given any official reason for this, but people who know more about this stuff than I do, they mention API, and then I say, stop. I don't know what that means. You're scaring me. I don't like these big, complicated words. It's an acronym, I guess. But I assume that the letters in that acronym stand for big, complicated, scary words. So I'm just going to shut you down right there. This is self-care. It's not paying attention or trying to understand acronyms. No, I really don't follow most of this stuff, but it sounds like a lot of third-party apps are having problems because Twitter is basically just making it more expensive to integrate with the app, more expensive and maybe more difficult. And these are the kinds of features that, I think we often just kind of take for granted. It's just like, oh, you just do it, right? It's just something that you just have to set up and then it's fine. But I don't believe so. I think these kinds of things do take like a little bit more active work, or at least like money, like Nintendo probably has to pay for this kind of thing. And if Twitter is making it more difficult and or more expensive, then it makes sense for Nintendo to just be like, okay, we just won't anymore. How about that? And as for why I'm disappointed about this, I've always thought this was a really cool feature. I think it's really, really cool. When the Switch came out, like this, it marked a change in Nintendo's philosophy when it came to sharing Nintendo stuff on the internet. They realized that sharing gameplay, posting it to YouTube and all that stuff is a good thing because it just raises awareness. It is free advertising. And this was kind of along those lines. I remember being thoroughly surprised and pleased that they gave us the ability to post stuff directly from our Switches. And not just screenshots, clips of videos. That was a really, really cool feature. Just right there from your system. You could just like upload a nice little 30-second clip. I actually did use the feature quite a good bit because otherwise my alternative was like, plugging in my capture card and capturing a thing and then like rendering out just that chunk and uploading it to Twitter and hoping that it's not too big. You know what I mean? It was a very forward-thinking feature, and it led to a lot of Nintendo stuff just getting posted and shared online because it was so easy to do. And I know, like I said, a lot of people don't really care about this. Twitter is awful. Twitter has become just a hellscape. It's awful. It's horrible. But here's the thing about Twitter. It is still, like it or not, the social media platform. It is still like the number one biggest. I don't know, Facebook might technically be bigger, but that's more about like friends. Whereas like Twitter, it's the big public forum. We all complain about it and we talk about going somewhere else, but we don't. We just don't, because all of the big discussions are on Twitter. All of the companies are on Twitter. We're all still here. And yes, it's getting worse, but it's still where we are. And it is still important. When Nintendo wants to advertise a game, when they want to make an announcement or drop a trailer, they will upload it to their YouTube channel and they will post it on Twitter. Their social media presence on Twitter in particular, it's a very, very big part of their overall marketing strategy. So it's just really, really disappointing to see that this feature is getting axed. I don't know exactly how difficult or expensive Twitter was making it, but I don't know. And I also don't know if this means that there's very little chance of the next system having this feature. I imagine it probably won't. And here's the thing is you can still save screenshots and videos on your Switch. You can still save clips. It's just, it is way harder than it should be to get those off of your Switch. I don't know if you've tried it, but even just getting screenshots, you have to do this ridiculous thing where you're like hooking your phone to your Switch, but like it never works. I've maybe tried it 10 times and it has worked once or twice out of those times. All the other times I just get like errors. It just kind of like pretends like it's working, but it never does. It's really frustrating. There is no convenient way to get the stuff off the Switch and then post it online. So what I'm really hoping is that, like, sure, we end up having to go a year or so, like, with our Switches and without the ability to easily post stuff on Twitter. But I'm hoping that the next system just has a better system for this. Xbox. It's amazing. I have an Xbox app on my phone. Whenever I save a screenshot or a video on my Xbox, it just automatically gets uploaded to the server and shows up in the app on my phone, and it's right there. And from there, I can post it wherever I want. That is what Nintendo needs. Like, if they still want to have this social media presence, give people the ability to share all this stuff easily online, that is something the next system absolutely needs. They're not going to implement it for the Switch now. The Switch now is old, I don't know, whatever, it doesn't need it, but like, yeah, if they're doing this, I certainly hope that they have plans to give us that ability. You know what would also be good too is just the ability to send this stuff to your friends. Just more, I mean, I know I'm kind of going on a tangent now, but just, you know, more interactivity between you and your friends on your system. The ability to just drop in a screenshot or a clip, just send it to them and they just get it like a message and they could watch it. We need something like that too. There are a lot of features I'm hoping for with the quote-unquote Switch 2, and I'm sure a lot of other people have a lot of ideas too, but I don't know, for me, sharing screenshots and video, that's a really, really big one. Yeah, it's funny in the little notes that Nintendo posted, there was like specific posting functionality in Splatoon 2 and 3. Like out of all of their games, those were kind of like the ones. So they have to like have all of this whole entire section just talking about the changes to functionality just for those two games. Now, really, you know, final thing to talk about, final thing that we should consider. Is it at least possible? Is it within the realm of possibility that Nintendo is doing this in preparation of Miiverse relaunch? Huh? Bringing back their own on-console only, console and browser social media platform? Is it possible that Nintendo is relaunching Miiverse on the Switch 2? It is not. It is absolutely not possible. Miiverse was a fun idea, but I think Nintendo learned that it was just not feasible. The idea of a closed and more safe social media platform Nintendo ecosystem, it's a nice idea, but it's just not how things work. But anyway, please tell me that some of you, at least some of you, also see this as kind of a disappointing thing. Please tell me that someone else also sees that there's value in posting this stuff to Twitter, even though Twitter is awful, and that Nintendo should give us a better way to do this going forward. Otherwise, I just seem like the guy screaming about the thing that literally no one else cares at all about. Which has happened to me before. I have been in that situation. You know? When the lunchroom stopped serving deli mustard, and all they had was the regular yellow. That was a hard day. That was a hard day for me. I felt very alone.